My friends, in the event that you are new to this wonderful card game and you have not yet signed up for a UGN Play account, you can now sign up with my exclusive referral code Alliteration and get yourself 50 bonus loyalty points for free, as well as additional loyalty points for every event that you play in within my referral code period. Why do you need these, you might ask? Well, loyalty points can be used to redeem free promotional cards in the mail, as well as other exclusive items coming in the future. The bonus points from using my code are enough to redeem almost any promo card right off the bat, and having your UGN account is going to allow you to accrue and track more and more as you go through your hero or villain's journey. If free cards and progression all sound super appealing to you, the links for all of this are going to be in the description below. Now, let's get on to the video. Welcome, my friends, to another Alliteration gaming video. My name's Levi, and today I've got another episode of Wealthy Aspirations for you guys. If you're new here, this is our kind of market watch series where we go over the prices of rarity by rarity, set by set, and just look at everything going on in the secondary market of the MHA CCG. Now this one is coming to you a day later than normally should. I've been out of town for the last few days tearing up some provisional store championships, and we're going to have a lot of videos coming up on those. But for now, Wealthy Aspirations is finally coming back a day late, but not without good reason. As of our new schedule, if you haven't seen it, go check the community posts on my channel. I've got our new schedule lined up. Wealthy Aspirations is going to be on Wednesdays now as opposed to Mondays, but this week, you're getting it Thursday because I had some provisionals to go take down. And we've got a very special episode today because this is going to be the first one featuring set 3 cards. Yes, the set is like soft out right now, pre-releases galore, a lot of people have their products, stuff like that, so the pre-sale prices are a little crazy, but I think it's still going to be really fun to go over them. Now that they've kind of started to stabilize just a teeny bit, I think that we're getting a pretty solid idea of what the market's going to look like with Heroes Clash cards. Now with all those pleasantries out the way, let's get into the episode because we have a lot more to go over than normally because we have a whole additional set of cards. We're going to start with the Heroes Clash cards because I think it's much more exciting. The secret rares are about what we expected. I expect these to be like anywhere between $10 to $15 max. Unfortunately, they're really niche, and I don't think they're much better than Crimson Rampage's secret rares. So they're gonna kind of just stay as meme cards, and unfortunately, secret rare or not, meme cards have meme prices. Now let's make our way into the true meat of the set, and that's the URs. The URs are very interesting. So if you were looking at prices like at day one of pre-releases, things are really crazy. These were like 35 bucks. These were like 25 bucks. Things were wild. I think things have stabilized just a little bit, and we're starting to see what the actual prices look like. Twisting Azure Inferno at 14, I think, is a really good price. I don't think these holding like 20 in the coming days is super unreasonable. This is easily the best ultra rare in the set, and I think that's going to be fetching a pretty penny for quite a while. So honestly, even with them going as low as 14, I think that's just such a fantastic price to pick them up at. I would not hesitate to get my set. I really can't see them being lower. This is basically like the excited for blood of the set, if you will. Somnambulism at 12, I think, is pretty impressive too. I thought this was going to be one of the slightly cheaper ones, but perhaps it's just the waifu tax coming in. Then like Stun Grenade, Tetsu, Invisible Infiltration, those being at 10 makes sense. I think Piercing Needle should be another $10 one. This is not going to be 7 forever. I would pick these up. I think it's a good time to pick these up, especially if you're trying to start getting your decks ready for Nats. Blood Moon is a really broken card, but it's only in a few decks. Same for Sudden Death Assault. These don't see as much play, and the rest of these being like $5 kind of makes sense. These being like $1 or $2 kind of makes sense. They don't see much play. These cards are a little more niche. Like, these are all like pretty solid, like $5 ultra rares. I think seeing these so low is even a little weird, but also like a lot of people are opening the set right now and are trying to move things, so things could be a little saturated, and I would maybe keep an eye out for a lot of these. But again, if you're like looking to pick up playsets from set release day, these are like not gonna get cheaper than $1 or $2. Like I would still go in on a lot of these at a lot of these prices. I don't think any of these are unrealistic in the slightest. These are just all some solid $10 ultra rares, and these are all some solid $5 ultra rares. So do with that with what you will. Moving on to the XRs. So the XRs is where things get really crazy because all the starter deck XRs are listed for like 20 to 30 bucks, and it's kind of crazy. I think that most of those are not going to hold. Some of them will because they're like actually really good ones, like Prominence Burn, of course, Dry Eyes, of course, Ignited Arrow is a really good example. A lot of the characters being expensive makes sense. Again, we're still early on, so these like prices are like, you know, take them with a heavy grain of salt. A lot of these really strong rare attacks I expect to see hold a pretty penny, especially because all the attacks in XR look really good. Pretty much all of the XR URs are like 40, 50 bucks, which I don't think is very realistic. I think only a few of them will hold any kind of price point like that. Again, all the starter deck XRs are like 20 to 30 bucks. It's kind of silly. We'll see how those stabilize in the future. I think these are a steal for $7. This is like a super staple zero diff. Pick these up if you can. I think these will probably stay 20 bucks. This card's really good. Some more niche attacks here in like the $5 to $10 range. If you're looking to pick up any of these, but you're not in a rush, like I think I can see most of these going lower. Like if it's gonna be $7, it could probably be eventually like $3, $4. Just depends how frugal you're trying to be. Richard Flexum XR being only $5. Criminal. This is a $1 million card right here. Get it graded PSA 10. No low balls. Basic trains for $5 is also a super crazy price. Pick these up. This card's crazy. Stable for the rest of time. I would not hesitate to get them at this price. This card's really good. This being $3 is crazy. Again, starter deck XRs are super expensive. More niche attacks holding that like $10 range, $8 to $10 range. This being $3, this card's pretty stinky. Not a big fan of that card. This is like the only XR from the starter deck that's like super duper cheap. Again, the XR URs are like crazy expensive. I wonder if like there's any market data on these. See if these are like actually selling at these prices. We're still gathering price data. Makes sense. I don't think this is like actually realistic. $60 is kind of crazy for these cards. But hey, if you can get rid of them for that price, more power to you. Piercing Needle. This one, I probably see maintaining something like this. I would say like 35 at the lowest for this. So these aren't like super out of left field. It's a Toga ultra rare XR that like goes full art and looks really good. All the characters are very expensive. These are going to get super cheap. Don't buy any of these characters at these prices. These are all going to be like $5 to $10 in the coming days. Again, all the starter deck XRs, especially if they don't look very good, wait on these. These are going to go down like crazy. There's just no reason that they should be nearly that expensive. On this page, again, we're seeing the XR URs again. They're like all 40, 50 bucks. This one is 20 for some reason, which I think is really weird. I think that's actually a really good price for it, but I don't know. Maybe people just aren't biting. Maybe I'm just wrong in that regard. Who knows? Maybe Midnight Tax is not as strong as it is. A lot of these rares that don't look super different are being expensive is kind of weird to me. Maybe One with Nature because it's like one of the best cards in the set, but these is kind of weird. But I guess it's like, you know, it's a really cheap card anyway. So again, XR URs fetching really crazy prices here and there. Again, the characters being like 20 to 30 bucks is crazy. I think these will all go down as we go forward. Some of these are getting kind of cheap though. This one being only $5 is pretty gnarly. I would pick these up. This is a good tech piece. This is a really good tech piece for $9 is like maybe a little more than like I'd say like this is more like a $5 XR, but we'll see how things go. Student of the Arts is really good, $10. Just a lot of these holding like really respectable $8 to $10 prices, just for being like really solidly playable cards. I think the only real things crazy here are like the starter deck XRs, the XR URs, and the characters. Those I don't see those ending up anywhere near as expensive as they currently are. Oh, these are only $5. I gotta pick up these. This card's really good. Down here, the XSR listings for 40. I think that's honestly a little bit generous. It's a very pretty card, but it's not gonna see that much play. Same for Aggressive Clash. They're both just super duper niche cards. I probably would, if you're looking for them for like collector's sake, I would probably hold off a little bit. I think they'll get even cheaper. So the XR world for Heroes Clash right now is a little bit of like a wild west. I think some of the prices are fair and will hold. Some of them, like the characters, the XR URs, and the starter deck XRs, I would definitely hold off on picking up until they stabilize a little more. And then, of course, for the promos, technically for Heroes Clash promos, all we have is the Quirk Pack, the box topper cards, which are all super duper cheap, except for this one because it's actually really good. This is like the Sugar Rush of the Quirk Pack, right? This one will probably like be $7, $8 for a while, then eventually settle around $3, $4, while these are like pennies. But for now, guys, that is Heroes Clash, and there's some very interesting prices going on. I think a lot of things are worth their price points here, but I think a lot of things will calm down as we like actually get the set out in the wild. Now let's see if the Heroes Clash prices are affecting anything else in the rest of the market. We're seeing a little bit of jump from Nitros here, kind of from like the $28 range, moving to the $36 range. It's pretty interesting. I actually want to see what the stocks are looking like on these. We got a couple for 35, a couple for 37. Yeah, just slowly making their way into the $40 range. I don't think that they'll really hit that range anytime soon, but I think the days of getting this under 30 might be behind us. And then full calories for 20 is just a nice solid price. Nothing crazy going on there. Nothing crazy going on in our URs either. Heatwave is still 30 bucks. Naval Laser and Ice Storm in the $10-ish range. A bunch of other nice $5 ultra rares, $5 ultra rare, $5 ultra rare, $5 ultra rare, $5-ish ultra rare, and then just kind of a buck or two on the others. Nothing too crazy going on here by the looks of it. We'll just kind of have to wait and see if any of these URs kind of make their way back into the meta, but for now it's all about those set 3 ultra rares, man. Moving on to the XRs, it looks like nothing too out of the ordinary here. It looks like we got maybe some cheap reverse throws, or at least one by the looks of it. Yeah, just one, but hey, look, if you've been looking to maybe pick up that last reverse throw, it's gonna be a good chance to get one for like not 30 or 40 bucks. Looks like hardened jabs are just getting crazier and crazier and crazier. Yeah, 7 for 45, and then they're just in the most ridiculous, unimaginable range ever. These are crazy. Do not buy these at these prices. These are nuts. Absolutely not worth it. Wait and see how things settle on those. It looks like we've got these. I'm sure these are unlimited 1.3s, but for 15, that's not bad. It looks like we've got a couple in the 15 range, a couple for 25, and then they go back to being crazy. So again, if you're looking to pick up like those last couples, that might be a good one to check out. Destined for mainstream successes are still like non-existent. These are actually really nice prices for these XRU, or same for this. $10 on these is really, really, really nice. Funny that flashing is still $8 even as an XR. I guess it just looks that good. Requesting assistances still don't really exist. This one kind of made its way onto the unattainable price list quite a while back, and it doesn't look like it's gonna want to leave that list anytime soon. Same with passing the torch, and we've only got 3 listed as well. Man, a lot of these set 1 XRs are standing the test of time and really showing off that they're not looking to become attainable anytime soon. 15 on these is really nice, even with the RLE running around. 15 on these is a lot. It's pretty expensive, but it is a very, very pretty XR. 4 on Ruins is crazy. Just buy these. Just buy these. Why pay $2 for the ultra rare? You pay $4 for a much, much nicer looking card, and also like one of the best cards in the game, especially if you're playing Tokoyami. Like, buy these. Buy these. Buy these. Latent skills don't really exist still. 3 listings, 25, not looking good. Setup strikes, again, like not an unattainable price anymore, but holding some really pretty crazy value on these guys. Same with chops. $10 I think is actually pretty respectable for chop. I would probably pick these up at their prices. Heroic strikes are really expensive. Wow, that's crazy. Starlets are 15. That's crazy, especially with the RLE existing. These are about double the price of the UR, which is pretty respectable. Overall, nothing like popping up out of nowhere as a crazy price, but it looks like just all of our like really crazy price XRs still just staying these crazy price XRs. These guys just do not want to stabilize, and I find that really interesting. Even like look, tape 14 bucks is really, really, really good. Calling for backup 12 bucks. Like, a lot of these are randomly holding some pretty strong value, and it's very interesting to see. I think we're starting to make our way through these. This is a really nice pickup for 9 bucks. Actually picked up my 4th over the week at the provisionals. Self-sacrifice is for 20 now. I think that might be a bit of an improvement from when they went like non-existent, but they're definitely rising up there. And again, not looking to really stabilize. I mean, stabilizing at 20 bucks is stabilizing at 20 bucks, right? But at what point do we really mean stabilizing? It looks like we kind of just got everything pretty cheap from here on out. 5, 6 bucks, sticky balls, 7 bucks, gotcha, 7 bucks. Apathetics, 5 bucks. I think that's a really good pickup. Apathetic is going to be a huge card in the coming meta, and I think it's a really, really good looking XR for El Cheapo. And then, so Precious Lessons is 7. That's actually a pretty nice. Again, a lot of these are like randomly like 6 or 7 bucks that I just wouldn't expect to be like 6 or 7 bucks. And then some that I expect to be like 10, 15 bucks are like 5 bucks like this. It's really interesting. The set 1 XR market is a really interesting. Release for $2. That's crazy. Buy these, buy these, buy these. I know like it doesn't go like full art or anything fancy, but like they become shiny. They weren't shiny before, they're shiny now. Merciless Rush for $2. Again, like a lot of these cards, they see a lot of play, so I think it's really crazy that they're just like so like crazy cheap. Like anything under $5 to me is wild, and like if it's a played card, I think that's just a really, really, really good value pickup, man. Then moving on to our DLC for set 1, Tongue Whip still being the only like real money card in this set. Definitely just buy those on their own if you truly need them. Don't bother trying to get the whole kit. And then for promos, it looks like Specialists of Sound don't really exist anymore. A lot of these still holding these really powerful 50, 60 price points. These holding 30s is really, really good. These were getting like super cheap for a while, so nice to see them with some power back in their corner. Top 8 Midnights are good. I think it would be 200 for just the rest of time. Plus Ultras and Crow and Frogs, they're stabilizing a little bit. These were like all 20 bucks for a hot minute, so it's nice to see those not being so crazy. Holding still like solid $5-6 on the XL kicks and the pillar swings. I think it's pretty impressive. Those were like pennies for a really long time, so it's awesome to see those holding some true value. Plus Ultra Pack just looking like sweeter and sweeter as the time goes by. And now of course moving into set 2, our SRs here looking like they usually do in the very sad $10 range. Again, very niche cards. Don't think these are ever going to rise up unless they just become randomly broken in a deck one day. I mean, we're going to get Midoriya and Bakugos till the end of time, so like one day this card might be busted. This card though is just kind of a one check that just doesn't really warrant it very hard. Our URs for set 2 looking pretty much the same as they always do. Excited holds its 20. These hold solid like $5 to $8, and then everything else is like $1 or $2. If I were to point out any good pickups going into set 3's meta, I think this card is going to see play in a lot more decks. I think this card sees play in a lot more decks, especially the Death decks. Death of Chakra 2 coming in hot. Everything else though, I really cannot find a place for, and I can't find a reason for it to be anything over $1. The XRs, XR Excited for Bloods are 20 now by the looks of it, which is kind of really crazy. It's like the same exact price as the UR, so are these going to go back up really soon once these few get bought out, or we're just going to see the UR go down? That's actually really interesting. That's really interesting to note. A lot of our characters still holding some solid value. Double Jabs still looking at that $12 to $15 range. We got one sold for $4 today. That was me like 5 minutes ago before I recorded this. Again, our character XR is looking nice here. Stomp XRs being $3 is crazy, but it looks no different, so sure. Howitzer Impact is 12. I think that's a really nice price for that XR. It looks really good. $4 on this is pretty good, and then honestly, from there on out, I don't think there's a lot to write home about. The high value target is still like the best XR to pull value wise. Otherwise, none of these are really holding anything. Back Alley Haymaker is like $12, but like looks no different. Then a lot of these being $2. Again, still some really good pickups. From the Finals for 4, Ice for 5, Graceful for 4. Definitely some nice pickups there. But aside from that, I don't think there's a ton of value in a lot of these XRs. Challenging the Fakes for $250 I think is nice. That card I think is slowly going to see more play in a lot of decks. Fruit of Our Labors, if you have not noticed, in this area right here, the XR puts little hollow hearts on it. So it should be like $1 million now. Buy these while they're $4, now that everyone knows this. Start Limit for $4 is really good. This for $3 is really good. These are like nice tech pieces, nice survival pieces. There are a handful of staples in set 2, and I mean, even if the XR doesn't do anything crazy, just going from like non-hollow to hollow is a lot of value in my opinion. I just see it as a lot of value. Knife Slice XR $3 is still a really good price. So still some solid pickups here and there. I don't think we're going to see any of these go crazy anytime soon. Again, bunch of very niche cards. And then moving into the DLC for set 2, nothing crazy. Cannon Blast is a couple bucks, and then after that everything is pennies. So don't buy the DLC itself. If you just need cannons, pick up the cannons. And then lastly, our promos for Season 2. Top 8 Selkies holding respectable little prices. They used to be a lot more expensive when they first came out, but now there's a lot more out in the wild, but still a solid pickup. These holding 50, kind of creeping down from 80 over the last couple of weeks, but still a really solid price for these. And of course, all these provisional promos still holding strong. I wonder if as the provisional store championships roll out, these might start to see a downward spiral in prices. I mean, there's like a solid amount of the foils being given out to the top cuts of the provisional store championships, so it's possible they're just inserting a lot more into the market and it's going to stabilize things a little more, but it's really hard to say. I think a lot of the shiny ones like Recovery Girl, I don't think will stay $20. All Might I don't think will stay $20, but I think stuff like Villainous Waylay and like Flamethrower, like cards that are going to have really relevant places in the meta, I think will stay pretty expensive for quite a while, really. Some of these RLEs still looking really cheap if you still got to pick some of these guys up. Blood Curdle's still really cheap. Big card in this coming meta. If you're playing any of these symbols, pick up these while they are cheap. Can't imagine these getting much cheaper as time goes on. Sugar Rushes are also very cheap. If you're still needing those, I think it's a good time to pick up a set. Other than that though, not a ton of value in our set 2 promos. And that's it guys, that's going to be our market watch for October 20th. A lot of interesting things going on. Set 3 prices are definitely like a lot of things that were to be expected, and then a lot of things really coming out of nowhere, and it's going to be interesting to see how things stabilize. Meanwhile, set 1 and set 2 still behaving very much as normally, with just kind of still some really nice value value XRs here and there, but otherwise things are still very cheap for the time being. But I'm looking forward to seeing how set 3 stabilizes and potentially changes the prices on some set 1 and set 2 cards as the meta starts to form and we see what some of the more standout new pieces are. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, thanks so much, and if you liked what you see, drop a subscription for more MHA CCG content in your newsfeed, and of course if you really like what you see, drop me a like and give me some feedback in the comment section below too. Love reading you guys' comments. It is just one of my favorite pastimes actually. That's all the time I've got for today though, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all next week for another Wealthy Aspirations Market Watch and seeing how things potentially change with the official release of Heroes Clash. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.